Well, what we've learned is that you can buy Procore, put it in your putter shaft, and you get two massive benefits: the vibration control and also that enlarging of the sweet spot through the torque, increased torque and decrease of twist. Now it's a case of how do you put this in? We think that might be a pretty complicated process. I've asked Russell to take my putter and put one in, and he's going to show us those steps. Russell, get it done.
Okay, here we go. So first of all, we've got a kit box here with everything laid out, Simon. First thing I'm going to ask you, because we have a 50 gram option, so we've got a little bit more weight there, or we've got a 20 gram option. Generally, somebody who wants to keep close to their existing weight of their putter, they'll use the 20, but we have quite a lot of people who think their putter's actually a little bit light and they'd like a bit more weight. Then they want the 50.
Yeah, I will go.
Like?
You know what? I think putting in the UK, you know, don't have the green speeds that you get in America. I'll go with a heavier one.
You'll go with
I'll go with. I'd like because it sits midway up the shaft. I'll go with a heavier one.
Okay,
I'll try that.
Right. So the first thing we do, we have a grip cutter here, little wrench and a little cutting piece that simply fits into there, and then we pop that into. All grips have a little hole in the top, and we literally just cut our way through to the top of the shaft, which we can feel gets a little bit gritty when it gets there, and we know we've hit the top of the shaft. Take that away and you can see that we've got the plug there left. We'll leave that to later and we'll sort that little bit out. What we then do, we've got a little cutter here just to remove the grip tape, because most people that re-grip will actually put tape across the top of the shaft. So we just need to remove that tape. Make sure we don't drop it inside. Simply as that. And then every single shaft, be it a new putter or somebody's existing putter that may have been around for a few years, but even a new putter will tend to have a little bit of rust in the shaft, because whilst they plate the outside, they don't get plating on the inside. So we just put this little brush here on, pop that into the shaft, and we continually turn the tool in a clockwise direction whilst we're pushing down.
And is the clean shaft important for sort of putting the Procore in and making sure you get a good attachment?
It is indeed, Simon, yeah, because any rust that's in there is going to actually fatigue the product. So we just want to get anything out so that we can get that Procore in nice and cleanly, minimal fuss. So that's that. What we then do is just give it a little tap so that any dust, rust dust drops out, and then we're good to go. So we provide here a small Allen key to just aid us to unlock that brush. And now we're into the Procore fitting process. So the first thing is to define where the filter's optimum position is going to fit in the shaft. So to do that, we have here a little gauge, and the gauge has got two indications on it: shaft location and compression point. So the shaft location is what goes onto the shaft, and we pull it up until we get to a point where that's nice and secure. What we then do is we take that filter, which we talked about, the optimum performance is maintaining that filter's position, and we just pop that into there. So we now know that that's where we want to end up in the shaft. We then just screw our tool onto the top of the Procore, and holding with both hands here the tool and the grip, we just drop.
So it's actually specific where the point goes. There's a science behind it, and that's how you measure it. That's done.
Absolutely. And this here is just dropped to signify that as soon as we're hitting the grip with the cap here, we're in that optimum position. So once we've done that, we just release the gauge, release the Procore. We then have to just apply a little bit of Vaseline lubrication just to help everything go in nice and smoothly, both on the filter and on the collet end. We provide these little sticks to assist with that, and then we're ready just to insert the product. We always just lightly balance our foot on the putter head whilst we just push down into position, and then we wind away the cap and we're finished. Final part of the process is to just do a little check, which is to use the putter as a tuning fork, which means we hold it between the thumb and the first finger and just give it a little tap, and if we hear a rattle we know we're not in the correct position, so that's absolutely perfect. And then we simply place a cap in the top to cap off the hole that we cut. Simon, you're all ready to go.
You're done. So I mean, the process, the assembly process to put the Procore in is literally seconds. And what I've done here is I've actually bought a better putting stroke, because I'm going to have so much more tolerance with my sweet spot being that much bigger. With whatever stroke I've got, I'm going to have a better control of distance. Better control of distance, as we have learned, means fewer shots on the golf course.